In this edition of the camp, 13 youths along with local cyclists in Uthai Thani province are heading to the Khaeng Wildlife Sanctuary with a great mission of creating awareness of environmental conservation. As you can see, there are national flags on some of the bikes. Well, they're not just there for a chic decoration, but the task these kids are given is quite international. Why are all these ambassadors and envoys here at Thai PBS headquarters? Why would the dignitaries offer their national flags and souvenir items to be placed in front of Seub Nakhasathien statue? Well, here's the story.
Your Excellencies, ambassadors, envoys, honorable guests, as I was informing the audience that the camp, which is a semi-reality show on Channel 4 ALTV, which is Thai PBS's latest learning outlet, we have received massive amounts of admiration and positive feedback from our viewers, both on TV, on air, and online, as the purpose of the program is to teach the younger generation to live a safe from harm life while also having fun with the variety of activities that we have hosted. For this camp, on top of learning how to blend in naturally with Mother Nature and basic survival skills in the forest, this edition of the camp, which will be held in Khaeng Wildlife Sanctuary in Uthai Thani province, will also embed the young with the ideology of natural conservation and wildlife protection.
This is an important cause we're promoting here today. That is environmental conservation. That is to make sure that wildlife can exist. I'm representing a country that is really looking at the green agenda. This is an important cause that Denmark, of course, supports.
การพิทักษ์ป่ากู้เมืองการปกป้องการดำเนินชีวิตของพวกเราและโลกใบนี้ผมและสถานทูตญี่ปุ่นยินดีที่จะร่วมสนับสนุนกิจกรรมอนุรักษ์สิ่งแวดล้อมของสถานีไทย PBS.
Similar to Thailand, Malaysia strongly believes that a clean, safe, healthy and productive environment is very important for our present and our future generations. And we are committed in the conservation of the country's unique and diverse natural heritage with effective participation by all sectors of society. With this, I wish all campers, cyclists, all the best and stay safe.
So conservation is very important to New Zealand. Over 1/3 of our country is conservation area. Seub Nakhasathien efforts to protect Thailand's beautiful flora and fauna are very much close to our hearts in New Zealand. And we also learn at a very young age the importance of enjoying but also respecting the outdoors. That's both for its value personally, for recreation and development and education, but also for the protection of this precious resource for generations to come. And we're very happy that you can take a small piece of New Zealand with you.
This is actually Happy Lily, the ambassador of Swiss cows that's now going to travel to the camp. What you have to know about Happy Lily, she really enjoys traveling a lot. And we had a conversation this morning with Happy Lily, and she has told me that she's really looking forward to discover, together with the campers, the nature of Thailand.
The U.S.-Thai relationship covers pretty much everything, from security to health, but one of our great partnerships is also in natural resources and protecting the environment. In fact, Huai Park is a sister park to the Great Smoky National Mountain Park in the United States. Again, it's an honor. เพราะว่าน้องๆเยาวชนเป็นอนาคตของเรา and we'd love to give them this opportunity to do this.
The 13 riders and their parents are heading to the Khaeng Wildlife Sanctuary. And, unlike other camps, in this edition, many come as a household as they will be camping together within the wildlife sanctuary. The Khaeng Wildlife Sanctuary is located at the Western Forest Complex of Thailand. The conservation area is connected to Thung Yai Naresuan. It has been inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site on behalf of Thung Yai Naresuan Khaeng Wildlife Sanctuaries, the largest forest conservation in Southeast Asia, covering an area of 622,200 hectares and incorporates 2 intact river systems. The size of the property adequately ensures complete representations of habitats and ecological processes, and the total area protected is larger than any other legally protected single forest conservation area in mainland Southeast Asia. The beautiful and diverse Khaeng Wildlife Sanctuary, however, has a dramatic story to it as well. A few decades back, this enriched forest land was in the eyes of vicious and greedy investors as a source of revenue, pushing the governments at that time to allow concession, which will lead to deforestation and endangerment of wildlife species inhabiting Khaeng. They claim this act will surely boost the Thai economy. A man by the name of Seub Nakhasathien, who was the forestry chief of Khaeng Wildlife Sanctuary at that time, has dedicated his life to nature conservation and research. He played a major role in protecting Khaeng from concession, dam construction, wildlife hunting, and all types of abuse. After the submission of Khaeng to UNESCO for World Heritage status in June 1990, hoping to save this priceless resource for the next generation, Seub committed suicide in September at his home within Khaeng as he perceived hopelessness for heritage protection. His death shocked to Thai society and caused an awareness of nature conservation. And finally, Khaeng was inscribed as World Heritage in 1991. His death was an integral push. And if humanity believes that Mother Nature has no boundaries and forest land is the world's common interest, everyone on Earth, regardless of their nationalities, must do what they can to enhance these resources. And that is exactly what we're doing here in this episode of The Camp. Now, let's head back on the road. Oh, and by the way, the kids will not be cycling from Bangkok straight to Khaeng Wildlife Sanctuary, as 300 kilometers will be a bit too tough. So, we're going to set the starting point at Lan Sak district, leaving them to ride for some 30 kilometers. The local municipality is joining in as they support this international cause, providing us with food, drinks, and safety service. And lucky for us, the Uthai Thani Biking Club is also joining the ride as mentors, as they know the purpose of this event is to cultivate nature conservation, and most importantly, they are very familiar with the roads around here. Not too far from the starting point, riders are already leaving a distance between them due to the hot weather and hilly paths. Some of them have never been cycling this far before. Apart from the kids, Adrian Flint is also going to race for conservation. He was inspired by his son, Alex, who accomplished the 110-kilometer ride to Huai with the camp a few months earlier.
able to continue? That's fine. Because you're losing the pack a little bit. You want me to cycle instead? Okay. Doesn't matter because if you get slow, there's still a backpack. There's still the back. Yes. Okay.
As you can see, Alex is a bit worried about his father, saying last night Adrian slept very little. The heat and hilly route is totally different from the one that Alex took. Uh-oh, what happened to Zhou Nai? Luckily, he's okay. So, let's continue. Seems like cycling is much more difficult for him compared to swimming. With the heat, terrain, and distance, many of our tiny riders' cheeks have turned red without having to apply brush on. Little Tio from the sailing camp cannot keep up with the group. However, with his fighting intention, he and his riding mentor believe he will reach the finish line. As for Nong Fat, whose physical strength is limited, wears a heart of a fighter, and with moral support from his mentor, he is heading for the finish line. Take a look at our powerful girl, Senyo, who is trying to overcome her limits while facing the hilly routes. Help from her mentor is needed. However, we don't have to worry at all about this pack in the front. Greater, Khaeng, and Brave all have passed the Khao Yai cycling camp, while Anwat, who has already passed the mini Navy SEALs camp, seems to be doing very okay. While waiting for the other young riders, Alex is quite worried that he doesn't see his father. So the team decided to take Alex back in search for his dad. And yes, we found him. A bit exhausted though. Okay, make room for Mr. Flint, please. Now the service vehicle will take a while to get here. But guess who came to save the day? Aha, that's Greater's mom. And then, finally comes the service vehicle. And along with it, Bun, who is all tired and hungry. Meanwhile, Gina, Greater's younger sister, who is a familiar face with the team, has actually joined the camp for the first time. And she is enjoying every moment with her dad, who admits he doesn't really spend a lot of time with his kids as he would like to. And with only 10 kilometers left, it's now turning from hot to rain. Oh boy, this cannot get any better.